What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Brew. I am your host, Modern Man TV, and I'm here with my co-host, Steve Lockhart of Lockhart's Authentic, and today we are welcoming our good friend, Andreas Kreuzer, to the show. Andy, as we call him, is the CEO of Pomade World, and personally, he's one of the funnest guys we get to work with. You are one of the funnest guys we get to work with. And so, Andy, thank you so much for joining us here. How are you, my friend?
No, man. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely fantastic, and I hope so are you, because both of you, you're looking great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's what I was going for. Yeah.
I mean, I threw on a hat and a thick shirt. I basically just rolled around and then got on here, so we're good. But we're really glad to have you on here. You're one of our coworkers now. Like we're all one big happy family now. But you've been in this industry for quite a while. You've got an extensive history, so there's a lot we can talk about here. But where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about your history a little bit, your bio, I guess? You want to start there?
We can totally do that. And then that leads me back to the time where I actually still had a lot of hair on my head.
Oh.
And when I was still able to use pomades and all these lovely products. And I've been using pomades for like at least about 25 years now. And I absolutely always loved pomades and everything around it and the history. And I just got fascinated, and then I got infected with the virus. And then like I had 2 pomades, and then I had 12 pomades, and then I had 274. And then I stopped counting, and I was just using pomade, living pomade. Eventually, I found a product that was called Lockhart's, and it was very difficult for us here in Germany to actually get it, because obviously it was only made in Steve's garage in the United States. And yeah, so it became a hobby. I absolutely loved it. And pure coincidence, I was looking for a job, and then I found a place in Germany, actually located in Munich, in my hometown, where it's called Pomade Shop. And they've been around for like 17 years or something. Great place. Brought pomades back to Europe, pretty much. Brought pomades back to life. Gave that whole thing that spark, that ignition that it needed.
You built that culture. The pomade shop really built a lot of culture over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm so glad that I had the pleasure, the honor to be part of that. And I worked there because I was looking for a job, and I met Stan, the owner, and he liked me, I liked him, and we had our job interview in his car, driving home to his place because he forgot to pick something up, and by the time we came back, I was hired. And I was really happy, and I made my hobby to be my job, and I've been developing distribution or the sales of pomades and marketing about all that, and we invented quite a few new things, and I was just able to be part of all of that. And then eventually I met Steve in person, but on the screen here, because I had a side project, because Pomade Shop, as all companies was struggling during COVID and after COVID. And I thought we have the chance, because Pomade Shop owns a brand called Sweet Georgia Brown,
which is one of my favorite historical brands of all time. I had a lot of jars of it.
I love that brand
too.
Yep. Love that brand too. I did a little work. I did a little work for you for a short time on Sweet Georgia Brown. It was one of the funnest gigs that I had.
Actually, that's where we met. That's true. That's true, Mike.
I loved working for you with Sweet Georgia Brown. I mean, there are some brands out there that for me as a content creator, there are some brands that are a little more difficult to have that get the creative juices flowing for, but Sweet Georgia Brown is not one of those brands. Like the history of the brand, the imagery, it all speaks to you so well, and it flies off the table when you're shooting it. It was so much fun to shoot. I loved that brand, just absolutely loved it.
And everyone loves it so much, and so did I, or so do I. And I just started my own little company, and I got the okay from Pomade Shop to actually get the product back manufactured, because it hadn't been manufactured in many years, and there were only like a few old tins around, and we just wanted to bring it back, and we wanted to bring it back the way it used to be, like really highly perfumed, like really like the most perfume we could get into that thing. And that just made me so happy that I was able to actually bring that brand back. And I met Steve, and Steve did such a wonderful job reformulating, because the original formula, the recipe, was just gone. So
Lost to
Steve
history.
had to actually start from scratch and rebuild that product. And it was so much fun working with him, because I mean, the postal service between America and Germany, it takes a couple of days or a couple of weeks sometimes. And every time he told me, hey, there's the new sample on the way, was just sitting there like a little kid just before Christmas, like really, really excited. And so we met, and then
That was a fun project too. It was a challenge as well. Now, I had already in the past, I had actually tried kind of replicating Sweet Georgia Brown before, because like I said, it was one of my favorite products that I had used in the past, and so I had already kind of had a jump start on it. So you definitely, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I think you found the right guy to do it, because I was already kind of halfway there. I really wanted to do it, and I was just like, oh my God, Sweet Georgia Brown's coming after me. It was finding the fragrance. That was the hard part. But,
Yeah.
we found those documents that had, all the different weird aroma chemical names and stuff that, probably big corporate suits didn't understand what they were. And I was like, I know what this is. And I found a phone number, and I found everything that was attached to it. And sure enough, we found a small little company. I think that I believe they're the ones that have made the fragrance since the beginning of time. I think they've been making it
Yeah.
for Sweet Georgia
Yeah.
Brown since the beginning. So we found the OG, the actual fragrance. So it was really fun, just kind of digging in and becoming a part of that history, becoming a part of the Sweet Georgia Brown history. That was a lot of fun.
Speaking of history, when I was working for you, I wanted to get some vintage barber stuff as props. That's something that I've done frequently over the years. And I'll go on eBay or something, and I'll find, a lot of them, like somebody collected them. Either they owned a barbershop, or they maybe like their great grandfather owned a barbershop, and they'll just have like a box full of their like scissors and razors and straps and little things. And I only buy the ones that are older, like 60s or even 50s, like that time frame. But I bought just a box off of a whim, off of eBay, and in the bottom of the box was a very tiny Sweet Georgia Brown. Very, very, it was like the size of
Like
a
a single
quarter.
use.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was so old. I don't know how old it is. I want to say at least probably the 60s at least. I mean, just based on the fading and the colors and everything, the design of it, maybe 70s. I don't know, but it looks very old. But it was very cool it was ironic to find it, because I'm buying these for Sweet Georgia Brown. I'm like, man, this is like a cool position to be in. This brand has been around forever, and now I'm buying props to shoot an ad for Sweet Georgia Brown. Like, it was such a cool feeling for me to be doing this. I really appreciated you bringing me on for that. It was such a fun project. But now obviously you are the CEO of Pomade World. Do you want to talk about kind of how that came to be, and maybe what you're doing now with Pomade World?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, my time at Pomade Shop had ended, and Steve and I were working with each other, and Steve had all these changes going on, and like the development in his own company. And he pretty much just called me and said, Andy, we need someone for Europe.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, that is like kind of when I called you, I need someone for Sweet Georgia Brown. So thank you very much for returning that favor. And so Steve pretty much explained to me what they were doing, and that there is a lot of progress and new people in his business and huge opportunities, and if I wanted to be part of it. And so the timing was perfect.
Yeah. And Ron came
to be
in.
honest, I probably would have said yes, no matter how the circumstances would have been, because
Right.
the thing now is just amazing. And so Steve brought me on board, and so far I'm pretty grateful.
Ron came in.
Yeah,
He had kind of a vision for Pomade World. And that was,
and which Ron, for the listeners, Ron Abramson, that's my my business partner. He came on board with Lockhart's about a year and a half ago. He's an enthusiast. He's been an enthusiast in the pomade. He's actually, if you look into our orders, it's funny seeing all the years back that he's been ordering from us. He's been a Lockhart's user for a long time, but he's had some major successes in other industries, and renewable energies. He's had major successes in the financial industry.
Yeah.
He's had major successes even in law. He's an attorney. And he came on and he said, like, I see, there's different areas of the operations that we can get together and we can start pulling, other strategic partnerships under one roof in order to get the handcrafted hair products into a much bigger audience, get it to people that get more people using these high quality products that we produce. And it aligned with my with my ideas that I'd been wanting to do for a long time. Like, we had this conversation before, and I'd talked with Cody before about how I want to figure out how do we bring as many of our craftsmen, if you want to call them, underneath one roof so we can share resources and grow this to become, to make it to where people around the world can have the best hair with, nice, without having, dry hair or, all those other different issues that come with the highly chemical type hair products. And, I introduced Ron to Andy, and then a lot of things really kicked off there. And we realized, at first we wanted Andy, I'll let you expand on this in a minute. At first we wanted Andy to kind of be our representative in Europe. And then we were planning on building eventually to getting to Pomade World. But then Andy he was bringing on so many people. There was so much business to be had, because Lockhart's did have a reputation already in Europe. We'd already had built a clientele. And but Andy also had all these the beauty of bringing Andy on board is he had all these relationships with not just other distributors and other sellers and retailers. He also had the relationships because you were purchasing with the pomade shop as well. So we had relationships with all these other brands that we could bring on board and bring under one roof as well, and kind of take the same idea and just expand it into Europe. So in a year and a half, my entire vision it's all come together, and now it's just a matter of executing. And Andy's just kicking serious ass over there. And Andy, I'm very proud of you. And I'm just every day when I get the updates on it, I'm tickled pink. I'm so excited to see what this is doing, and I'm very, very grateful that you've come along on this journey with us. So I'll hand it off to you, because
likewise. It does seem to me that Ron had a serious vision for Pomade World, and you were a big part, Andy, of that vision.
Yeah. Like when I spoke with Ron about this idea, it kind of it did something inside me, because all of a sudden I saw that, and it is like, these maps that are all like really dark, and you just have that bright spot there, and then you explore a little bit, and it's getting brighter and brighter, and all of a sudden I could see the whole picture. And the idea is really, like Steve said, we're trying to bring a lot of the coolest, freshest handmade brands together, but you need to have an umbrella on top of all these brands. And that is what Pomade World is. Like, what we are doing is we're bringing them together, and we're taking them over to Europe at the moment. We're already working on the Asian market, which is just insane given the time that we've been doing this. It's growing so fast that we are bringing all that together, because we have Pomade World in Europe, we have Pomade World in the United States, and there will be a web shop then soon, which is gonna sell European products. Because if I can bring American products to the European Union, I can do the exact same thing on the other way around.
Right.
And we got brilliant products here. We got great craftsmanship. We got really highly innovative products, really best quality products. And so this whole thing just makes an awful lot of sense, and it's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And it is so much fun doing it. And working with Ron and with Steve and with you, it doesn't really feel like work. It is just like, hey, we're doing something together, and it is so exciting. And we develop something. We are constantly developing. We're constantly changing. And that is something that I absolutely love, because we can really see how this is growing. And I get all these pellets from Steve. Just today I got a pellet that is just, we put it in the warehouse, and half of it is already gone again. And we were waiting for it because it had a bit of a delay. Because of Thanksgiving, UPS were messing it up a little. So we were eagerly waiting, and it is all so exciting because it's getting bigger and bigger, but we still, we are closely in touch with each and every customer of ours, no matter how small or how big he is. And And that is just so great because it is growing. We are having a lot of fun and we are getting such great feedback from our customers.
Yeah.
So this whole thing is just something very, very special. And I am well proud that I'm allowed to be part of this. And I love to work for that and I love to build that. And you said that we like Pomade World has only started officially on the 1st of May of this year.
It's been a short time.
And that was
incredible.
when we went into our warehouse with literally nothing in it. There were no desks, no table, and no chairs, no nothing, no shelves, no pallets. What's
Pallet
that?
jack. Pallet
Pallet
jack.
jack. Thank you.
Yep. Yep.
And
Let's dig into that.
We're now half a year in that thing, and it is already working, and it's just amazing.
You skipped over one of the most impressive parts of the story of creating Pomade World, which is what was it? Just a few weeks of setup when we opened up in May, right? It was May. Can you tell us a little bit about that process? Because I remember once you guys got the keys, I remember just getting pictures almost daily of all these things going from an empty warehouse to just something that was completely filled with shelving and boxes and all these items. That was a very exciting time.
It was exciting and exhausting.
Yeah.
Believe that.
It was unreal because just about 6 weeks we needed from an empty warehouse, empty offices, no web shop, no IT infrastructure, no telephone, no nothing. We had nothing, but because we were new to this, like it is not a startup where we invented something brand new and we're trying out how it works. But my team and like I brought two of my colleagues from my former employer. They came with me when they heard that we're starting that. They actually quit their jobs and they came and started that with me. So I have all this knowledge and experience how it should be, and we just built that thing really like strategically clever. We did a lot of research. We spent a lot of time on research where to get like the shelves, for example, or the pallet jack, because we had a budget, but I did not want to use all that budget, and I sure as hell did not want to go over that budget. And we were working really clever, and thank you for bringing that up because I'm actually well proud, and I nearly forgot about that now.
You got to give your guys some credit too.
It was amazing. Like every single day, it looked more like a real warehouse, like a real shop, like real offices. Like this whole thing is coming together, and we did everything ourselves. Like we did not get the shelves and someone built them up for us. These heavy duty things, we built everything ourselves.
Yep.
We just got everything. We really had this. It was like, it's like when you're like an artist and you want to make a sculpture and you just have that stone, and like an artist will tell you, yeah, I just need to take away the stone, then I see the naked lady or whatever you want to do there. Huh?
I knew we'd get into naked ladies. I'm very happy we're talking about this now.
Oh my God.
Don't tell my wife.
But okay, I'm sorry for that excursus.
Andy's home wrecking already. We're only 18 minutes in.
You know what? Maybe I'll get to see her naked lady later. So fingers crossed, right?
Okay. Every listener, you have to, or a viewer, viewer, you have to stay until the very end because there's going to be a naked lady. At least
Hey,
that's said.
Yep. I'll see if I can get her down here.
There you
Oh
go.
my God. We're digging ourselves into a hole.
I'm in big trouble now.
Just
Oh, boy.
scooping it out and throwing it. There we go. I want to get back to Pomade World here. I had a question that's been burning in my head. So you used to work for a pomade distributor. Now you run a pomade distributor essentially. What is different about Pomade World compared to other distributors, or what do you guys do differently, or why should a barbershop look at Pomade World versus the pomade shop or another distributor?
Well, it is really what we do is we want to be as professional and as friendly as we can. We want to have proper partners. Like when you do business with us, you can completely depend on us. You can completely rely on when we say we do that, we do that. You can rely on that there's always stock, that if you place your order, if it's in any way possible, this order will be picked, packed, and sent off the very same day. we're in close, like we have real relationships with our customers, no matter how big or small they are. Like they all know me, they all know Andy, and I know them all by name, and loads of them I've worked with for years and years and years. And it's just great because it is all based on a very friendly, professional relationship that we have with everyone. And obviously we got the coolest brands now. So you kind of have to come to us because all these older established brands that you can get everywhere, yes, they are great. They're fantastic. But you can't get them from me. You get the really fresh stuff. You get the handmade stuff. You get the innovation. You get the new products. That is what you get here from Pomade World. And that is the difference. And because we are working together, I mean, we got you, Mike, you are Modern Man TV. You are Dauntless Pomade. You are like, you're part of this. And we always call it the family of brands. And that's exactly what it is. Then we have Steve Lockhart here. And I'm the one who's allowed to get his products over to Europe and distribute it and sell it to whoever wants to have it. And if they have a question, they call me and I explain to them why these products are so great. Then we have Cody Branson in Texas, in Houston, who does flagship. Also part of this whole thing. This is the great thing. And our customers now realize that we not only do distribution and the marketing, we as our family, we do the manufacturing. We create the products. We own all the formulas, all the recipes that are there because we invented them. So this whole package that we have here under that Pomade World umbrella is just something that no other distributor or brand or manufacturer can do because we do everything in-house kind of thing.
And it was
either the manufacturer or the brand owner or the distributor or the fulfiller or the marketing agency or whatever. And we just do that all together because, again, I need to speak about Ron. He has the talent to find the right people.
I was just going to say that actually.
To work together.
Yeah.
He
bring us all
knows
together.
He's not the smartest person in the world, but he knows where to find these smart people. And he has a way to convince you to work with him because it just is brilliant.
He didn't have to convince me much. I was gonna, I was ready. I was ready to go.
I was like, please take me.
Yeah.
Steve can tell you, I've been wanting to work with Lockhart's like officially. I feel like I have worked with you guys over the years, kind of unofficially.
We've done so much together. Yeah, you've basically been our marketing guy.
Yeah, but I've always wanted to be an official part of the team for years now. So when it was even brought up, I was like, you're gonna have to convince me not to come more than you're gonna have to convince me to join the team. Like I am ready to go. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly it. That is what makes us different to all the other companies.
Well, one of the major,
they're not as good or anything, but we are completely different. And it is what we can do here. And I love that is we can be the lads, we can be the guys hanging out, having fun, talking a little bit of shite, but we can still work very highly professional. And we discuss stuff, we criticize each other to actually grow. And that is an environment that I always hoped for, that I could ever work in an environment like that. And look at me now. I am the CEO.
The CEO. What's that German word for CEO?
Oh, you want to know that?
I do.
Well, I would translate it to Geschäftsführer, which means the leader of the business.
I don't know why.
Right.
That's just
all right. Want me to say it again?
Oh boy.
No.
Oh boy. Take it easy now.
Yeah. One time was good enough.
It's a beautiful language. I don't know.
Why does everything sound angrier in German? Like,
yeah.
Why?
We are angry people. I mean, look at our history. We're not the friendliest people in the world.
I think, yeah. I mean, every German person I've ever met has always been really kind and cool. It's just when you hear them speaking the language, they could be like, I don't know, ordering a dish at a restaurant, and it just sounds like they're beating someone to death.
Well, you want to listen to people speaking Vietnamese? That's even worse. All right. Oh. So we're not the angriest. We don't have the angriest language on the planet, is what I want to say. But I enjoy speaking English because English is just, you can play much more with the English language. You can speak faster. This whole thing just it is smoother than German, because in German we do like all these really big words.
Yeah.
Like car insurance, for example, is like 2 words for you make sense. Car insurance. For us, it's the Kraftfahrzeugsversicherung. Yes.
See, and that
Yeah,
sounds
what-
that sounds
what-
like you're screaming at me.
And
Well, I'm not. I'm
insulting
actually
my
not.
mother.
Hey,
Honestly, if we're talking insurance, it's on the same level. So
Yeah.
let's just be real here.
Yeah.
Seriously, it is difficult. It is difficult to be the token German here in this conversation. Okay,
No,
I
absolutely.
But you
feel-
do have
I
an
feel
interesting
like
you do have an
you're
interesting
making
accent.
you are
though,
making
Andy.
fun of me, and
No, I'm
there's no
not.
fun in Germany. Stop that. I'm not used to that.
No,
Oh,
that's not what I
we
said.
do not do fun over here.
Wait. Now he's speaking with a German accent. I've never heard Andy speak with a German accent because he speaks with an Irish accent.
That's what I was
And-
gonna go into as well.
Yeah, Andy. So there, our listeners are probably like, "What? How is this man? He said he's from Munich. He doesn't sound like he's from Munich. He doesn't
Yeah.
sound angry at all. I mean, you're one of the sweetest people that I know. You don't come from. You're raised in Ireland. Is that?
Nein, ich bin in München geboren, aufgewachsen, habe mein ganzes Leben in München gewohnt und bin dann nach Irland gegangen, which translates to no, I was born and raised in Munich. I lived there for like 20 years or something, and then I decided that I will go and visit Ireland for a couple of months. And I stayed for about 4 years in Dublin. And
few
I
months.
might have picked up a slight accent, but it's not even bad right now. You want to hear me when the minute I'm over there, the first 10 minutes I speak with people, I sound like a proper dub, and I want to order a pint of Guinness right away, you know. And
Leprechaun over there.
yeah, and
Oh.
the good thing, I guess, was that I lived there for so long, and I realized, oh, I have a talent to speak English, and I just picked up a lot. And for me now, it's like my second mother language. It's like I love that, and I can switch between German and English, and sometimes I dream in English, and I can curse, and I can curse much better, like, and swear in English than in German. But I heard I'm not allowed to do that here on the podcast
No.
because
Oh, that's
I said you be you, Andy. That's what I said. I said you do what you do, man. You,
no,
Yes,
no,
you're-
it sounded a bit like censorship there, but I'm not complaining. I'm not.
No, man, you're
complaining.
you're talking to Americans here. We got our First Amendment rights.
imagine that
Yes.
the German complaining about censorship. Come
There
on.
you go. Yeah,
Oh
it's
boy!
great.
Oh boy!
Oh, we
We're
can
gonna go-
say everything we want on the television and
You
everything.
said you do what you do. You do what you do. There is no censorship here. Go ahead. You speak your mind. Speak your mind, Andy. Fly that freak flag.
You don't want me to speak my mind about everything, right?
Don't get him started on soccer.
Hopefully, everyone can see why
It
we have
is
so
called
much fun at
football,
work. though.
Steve. It is called football. We
Oh.
invented it. It's
We have
played
proper football in
It's
the
called
United States.
football.
Collegiate level is the most fun. Go Spartans! I'm actually wearing my Spartan gear right now. We had a rough year this year though.
So did
You
Nebraska.
know what?
Oh my
Honestly,
God.
American football. Oh man.
Soccer's
At least
what
watch rugby or something, but not American football.
No,
Don't even get me- man.
Soccer's just what children play. That's what they put them out on for the recess, and they go out, they kick the ball, and then it wears them out, and then they can get to take a nap.
Sorry, Steve.
drink is out
Steve,
now.
Mike, you are the host, right?
Yeah. Well, half.
Make sure we get back to a proper subject, because otherwise Steve and I are gonna fight over like the
Yeah,
most
we're gonna butt
things
heads.
in the whole world.
What if I don't want us to get back to a proper subject? I'm
All right,
having
well
way
then.
too much fun here. No, I'm kidding.
I did play soccer I did play soccer when I was about 7 years old. So I guess I have been bitten and infected by that bug, but I played football like a real man for the duration of at least my athletic career when I was a child.
Not me. I was not a sports person. Not me.
No, I'm great at watching sports and commenting on sports and giving advice to the coaches and managers, because that's what I'm really good at. But I'm not.
Someone needs
good
to yell at them from the stands.
You know what I did in high school? This is something that I don't think I just realized I don't think I've really shared this before. I was in ROTC in high school, and I could spin the rifle spinning. I can
Really?
Oh,
Can you still do it?
I can spin a rifle like Forrest Gump can run. It's one of my weird hitting talents. Like I actually won I won first place in the country in Daytona Beach my senior year.
No way.
Yeah.
Good on you, man. That's
Okay.
Yeah. It's like it's so useless. It is so beyond useless. But like I have a rifle in the garage. I can still spin. It's actually partially how I met my wife too. She was also in ROTC. And
Can she spin? Can she spin a rifle?
not as good, but she can. Yeah.
Hey, no.
No, my wife.
All right.
My wife was.
Challenge.
We have unarmed and armed. That was the things, and we competed in both. My wife actually was one of the best unarmed commanders I've ever seen in my life. So she was really really good. I was just better at armed, and we went to rival high schools actually too. So Bellevue East and Bellevue West. Bellevue West was mine. Bellevue West is way better. And of course,
Dude, you're digging yourself a big old hole here.
Yeah, well, she knows it. She actually agrees with me now. But yeah, that's one of my. I didn't play football or baseball or basketball or anything like that. I was weird. I spun rifles in high school. That's what I did.
That is about as American as it gets.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Except we don't shoot them. They don't shoot. But what was really cool though, the rifles we spun were demilitarized. 1903s that were used in World War One and World War II.
Wow.
Like actual ones that they demilitarized, and so you can't fire them, like the bolts welded shut. But I mean, they saw action for sure. They could tell us where they were in Europe and stuff during World War II. So pretty cool stuff there.
Yeah, you guys went a little crazy over there in Europe during World War II, if I remember.
What? We said don't mention the war. Don't mention the war.
Oh, that's right. The 30s and 40s.
To speak about that. I refuse.
Okay, fair
listen
enough.
to him.
We'll
He's the whatever leader. You got to listen to him. He's the leader.
Geschäftsführer. Yeah, you're right. That's me.
That's
me.
The way
and careful now. I served in the German army, so if you come up with anything
really?
funny, I know. I like you throw around rifles. I know how to use them.
Yeah, I served in the American Army, so we got that.
I know that.
Yeah,
That's why I built that bridge for you to.
Yeah.
Yep. And Mike wrenched on the same sort of motors that are in because Mike, you wrenched on the tanks, right?
The Detroit diesels is what I had to wrench on for Paladin.
Fun fact: the Detroit diesel motor that's in the Paladin that Mike used to work on is the same motor that's in my truck. Andy, you've seen it. You said the big crazy the goon mobile. It's the same motor. It was pretty cool. So when Mike first saw it, he was very familiar with it.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, I've seen one of those before.
Down.
What's that?
See, the funny part about that is your motor's never the thing that breaks down, because that thing is solid. Those Detroit diesels,
it'll run forever.
Those Detroit diesels are solid as hell. They go forever. It's everything around it that's gonna break down.
Yeah, it's the goddamn power steering's been what's been giving me trouble. I finally fixed it though. I gotta renew my tags and I can drive that thing anywhere I want now.
Oh well, I mean, you fixed it for the day until you turn it on.
Well, yeah, until
I sprays at you.
Till I blow it up again. Yeah, that was oh man. I mean, that thing is as custom as they come. It's three separate semi trucks welded together basically. So it's been
with American engines, with American motors. Oh yeah, they're like, I don't know, Germany. What are they good for? Oh, great cars and motors and everything.
The Volkswagen.
Yeah. I actually drive a Volkswagen motor, like a diesel motor, and it's just one of the best. Like, you can't have anything that is actually more reliable and durable and everything. It's just brilliant.
We have
diesel motors. They just kick forever.
They do. Yeah, we've got a Volkswagen electric car here. My wife and I do.
Cool. Wait, which one?
The ID4.
I love the ID4.
Yeah,
I really love it.
Yeah, we've had it for almost a year. February will be a year. It's really, really great car. We love.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, we love it. It's our second Volkswagen. Yeah, we had a Volkswagen Atlas before that, and we switched over to the ID4.
You've also got a Chevy pickup, right?
Yeah, I got a Silverado. Yeah.
See, and that gets made in Flint, Michigan. So, and I live about 20 minutes from Flint, Michigan. So, Mike, you're welcome.
Yeah, I love my Silverado. Because the electric car is great for everything in town. You know, like groceries and errands and to and from work or to and from school. That saves us so much money. Like and it's such a great car, but road trips are kind of a challenge. It's kind of a challenge. It really is. I really wish it was different because I would totally do it. But the Silverado really comes in handy for that. But, anyway, let's jump back on here. So Andy, we talked about Pomade World. What's on the agenda for the future of Pomade World? You're seems like you're doing all this awesome stuff now. You've got to have some stuff on the horizon that's coming next. What's next? You mentioned Asia.
Yeah,
Somebody
it's
did.
actually so much. It's so much that is on the horizon. It's not even funny, and we're trying to juggle with all of them and not drop anything. And there's like so many brands now coming to Europe, and then we are reaching out to the Asian market. And we do that really. We start from scratch. We have a few contacts, thankfully, really, really good and very strong contacts over there. But it's not like I would go and in every major city or region or whatever, I would have, oh yeah, I know that guy and this guy. We are actually building that really step by step. So I couldn't tell you how fast this is gonna happen, but thinking about what happened over the course of the last 6 months, I wouldn't be surprised if Asia would just really, really develop fast as well.
Do you think that their market's a little bit different than the European market, or are they kind of the same?
Yeah. And that's the main issue, or the main thing that we need to think about, that like the market in the States is completely different than the market over here in Europe. The market in a couple of countries here in Europe, like Western Europe, completely different than Eastern Europe. Northern Europe, they're different than Southern Europe. We have all these different countries there, and I need to bring all that under control and like kind of figure out what's the culture here, what's the culture there. And I think Asia is going to be, it's going to be tough.
Well, I mean, that makes sense to me because just thinking about hair types, the specific
hair types,
the
climate,
needs, climate, the needs. So what may be a great seller, in Munich might be the poorest performing seller in Asia.
Yeah. Or if you're talking, like Northern Ireland, or even like in the United States, if you're talking Michigan, it's going to be different than what it's going to be in Florida, or some places. It's the weather's so much different, and like Mike said, different ethnicities, so different hair types. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different challenges to overcome. But we've got a lot of great contacts over in Asia that we've worked with in the past that we can all leverage, work together. And the brands that we're bringing. So this is something that's really unique about Pomade World that you kind of briefly touched on, but kind of glossed over a little bit, is that we've brought all these handcrafted brands under one roof. And there's a lot of people aren't aware. There's much different regulation in Europe than there are in the United States, which has created a massive barrier to entry to getting into Europe. So one of the things that we do with Pomade World is we assist the smaller brands that may have otherwise not have been able to get the approval to sell their products in Europe, and we're kind of holding their hand and walking them through that process to get them approved and get them through that regulatory process, which is a time-consuming and expensive process. We're able to do that, and then now we're able to offer products that really the European market hasn't been able to have access before. And I know that there's a lot of people in Europe that they order from the United States all the time, but you have to order, if you order a jar of goon grease from our Michigan location, it's going to cost you the same amount. Say you spend $20 on a jar of goon grease, you're going to spend $20 to ship it. So it costs a fortune. Yeah, it's just too much. We can't introduce our products it was a much more difficult way to introduce it. And now your customer base is able to have access to all these great brands that they wouldn't have otherwise, that they've wanted to have access to for such a long time. And that's one of the ways that we've really differentiated. And Andy, you've done a great job making partnerships with the different labs that have to test the products and go through all the microbiological testing and the stability testing and it makes your brain melt thinking about the documentation, MSDS, COA, IFRA, you name it. Ooh, I actually got an email from one of your guys, Ronald. I got an email from him today that we need to some of the shave soaps that we're going to be
Oh
introducing.
yeah.
And yep. So there's
It is starting again, Steve. It
here we
is
go
starting
again,
again, and we're gonna chase you down
Yep.
until we get the very last document that we need.
Yep. But you guys know what's needed, and that's the beauty of it is that we're in Texas, we're working with many other brands through our Lockhart's Customs division, which we're then trying to introduce over into Europe. And it's just there's a lot of everyone's scratching everyone's back. We're helping people that have been watching me and Mike for a long time. They understand that our philosophy has been that the a rising tide raises all ships, and that we want a big vibrant community of pomades, not crush all the competition and make it to where we're the only pomade left standing. Because we're first off, we're not big enough to be that. We're not that juggernaut, and really we don't try to position ourselves as that. We try to position ourselves as a high quality handcrafted hair product. And we want to bring other people into the fold as well to help us grow this community and make something vibrant out of it, just like the barbershop community where they're doing barber battles and those sort of things. We want to be a part of all of that. So and Andy's done a great job of finding the right brands, whether it be the European craftsmen that and I'm sure there's probably some brands over in Europe that maybe they weren't even able to afford to get, maybe they're doing it under the radar or whatever. And I don't know about all of that sort of stuff, but that we can then get them on the level ground and get them into a legitimate market. It's really impressive the way that you've done that. And I commend you for that.
Thank you very, very much.
I agree.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. I really appreciate that, Steve. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love seeing it all come together, making a
Oh,
community and not making it a cutthroat community where we're all trying to crush the next guy. Because we could do that. We could, I mean,
Yeah.
we've got the resources where we could, we could really just try to destroy the other brands, but we don't see that that's a way of building something that's sustainable. We see that if the market is excited and people are excited for all these different brands, we can collaborate. We can all work with each other.
Partnerships. We
Yes.
want to work with each other. We have no interest in destroying anyone and taking someone out of the market. It's the opposite that we want. We want to work with everyone. Like any brand that wants to work with me, I'm always open. And if they have a great idea how we can actually put that together and benefit together, and then in the end result, have a huge benefit for the customer, for the user of the product, then we all won. And that is the thing. In today's society, sometimes I just feel like everyone just wants to fight each other and are against each other. I would much rather join the right people and start a partnership and be strong together and combine all the knowledge and experience and everything. And that's what we do here at Pomade World. And that is something that I love. And to your question earlier, Mike, that is why we are different. And because we are different to other distributors or other companies like that, I really feel like we are that tiny little bit better. And I absolutely love that. I love the way we can work here. I can look at myself in the mirror. I can sleep every night because I know it's an honest day's work. It's a lot of work, and we make everyone happy. And if we are happy and the customer is happy and our partners are happy, man, this is what we all want. This is exactly what we want, and we know how to do it. And that's the reason why we grow.
Yeah. And we're expanding opportunities for, smaller craftsmen, smaller brewers that wouldn't have otherwise had that opportunity. So we're also providing, the opportunity for these guys to succeed, and they're growing along with us. And I love seeing that. I love doing
and the fact that it's handcrafted. We don't want mass produced products out of a factory where there's one guy sitting in his little office with like 2 computer screens and just go like, oh, is everything running? Is every machine working? We want to give jobs to people that they can work in this environment, that they can actually be part of making these pomades or whatever products that we do here. So that is something really, really, really great. And that is a story that needs to be told, that in days like now, everyone is kind of trying to cut costs, and easiest way to cut costs is to let staff go. And we don't do that. We rather charge that $1 extra, but it is a good and honest handmade product with the finest ingredients, with the absolute finest ingredients for each and every product. I remember that when you told me that, that's a couple of years ago now, Steve, where I said, well, everyone tells me I'm using the finest ingredients. And you said, well, yeah, they probably do, but not the one fine microcrystalline wax or something is perfect for each and every product. And I said, why not? Because it's like, that's what it is. And he said, no, it works in this product, but for this product, I need a different type of wax.
Yep,
and then I understood, okay, so you can, even if you go, I'm buying the most expensive stuff, doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right ingredient for that product that you're making right now.
You're buying the expertise too.
Exactly. Yeah. And the expertise. And as I said, you invented the formulas of your products.
Yeah.
Like you own them all. You didn't have like guys in the lab just going like, okay, let's do something crazy here and develop some pomade.
No, I actually tried that a long time ago, and it resulted in a subpar formula. And I said, you know what, forget it. Let me just make my own. I'll make my own formula and I'll send it over to you. That was when I was back in the day when I was working with a lab, and the formulas that they were coming up with was just like, God, this isn't doing nothing. It just doesn't work. And I was like, you know what, I got this. Let me handle it. And then I send them the formula, and then okay, well, then they take off with it. So it's I've been on both sides of that, and I assure you that being on the side that has more control over the manufacturing is the better side to be on. I much prefer it, and I'm happy that I'm here.
Oh yeah, same over here. We don't want to give anything out of our hands. Like we much rather do it ourselves. Like my warehouse, like my team, and it's like if I'm around and there's an order coming in, I will pack that order because we have the warehouse. Like we work in the warehouse. There's the warehouse, there's the offices. There's about like close to 15 people now in Europe in the team within 6 months, which is just mind-blowing.
Yep. It's awesome.
Mind-blowing. And they're not all working in our shop. They're working remotely. Like we have this fantastic guy called Jan. He used to be a barber, self-employed, his own barber shop for like 25 years. And he's kind of tired, and his knees are like, he just got one of his knees replaced. He gets the other knee replaced next year. He can't stand anymore. He doesn't want to cut hair all day long standing because he just can't do it. And he's getting older as well. Old man. I said,
he's awfully handsome though. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, like back in the day, because he wanted something done, like he needed like a logo for his shop, and he needed posters of flyers, postcards, whatever. And he asked this agency, that graphics design agency, and he said, hey, listen, I need this and that. And they went, yeah, that's going to cost you like $2,500 or something. And he said, no, that's way too expensive. I do that myself. And then he decided to actually go to evening college and did his graphics design degree just on the side while being self-employed, working as a barber. And he is now part of my team, and he does everything you see on our Instagram and Facebook and even TikTok. We do TikTok now as well. Wow. Yeah. And it's all, you can all find that when you type in Pomade World. So very, very easy. And leave us a follow, and please follow us. I would love you.
That's a good way to
like and subscribe.
That's what I was just about to get to, because we're coming up on time here. So that's a really good place to leave it. Do you have any parting words you want to leave the audience there, Andy, as we close this out?
Well, whoever has never tried any of the fantastic brands that we have here all together, you really better do that, because you have missed out for a long time. Get a Dauntless product. Get definitely a Lockhart's product, and no matter which one. And if you have questions, ask the guys, and definitely get a flagship product as well, so you understand why we are all so excited about what we do. And if you need anything, Pomade World is around. And if you're ever in Europe, if you're ever in Munich, reach out and visit us. You can definitely come to our warehouse and have a look how it is. And you guys here as well. And then we do a podcast over there, but we meet in real life in Munich, and I show you how beautiful and not angry everything is over here.
I 100% want to go to Germany. Like my wife does too. She took German in high school, so she really wants to go as well. So that's gonna happen one of these days. We're gonna make it over there.
Cool. Yeah. I'd love that.
I would.
I don't like flying, so I'll have to be pretty well drugged up. But one of these days, I assure you, I'll be in Germany. Absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
You have to. Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Andy. We had a great time.
Thanks for coming on.
This was so much fun. That is all we got for today, though. If you want to see more from our guest today, you can find him at pomade.world and on Instagram at pomadeworld_original. Both will be linked in the description of this episode. You can find more from me weekly on the channel, Modern Man TV on YouTube, and my counterpart there, you can find him at Lockhart's Pomade on Instagram and lockhartsauthentic.com. Thanks so much for joining us today. Take it easy. We'll see you next time.